Welcome to the Pittsburgh Dish. I'm your host, Doug Heilman. How did the quest for good lemonade launch an entrepreneurial adventure? Shiquala and Vonn share the journey of Burghade. Where does respected dining critic Hal B Klein go to eat on his day off? We hear it's amazing. And how does a great summer garden amplify this eggplant parm? Olive Visco dishes the details of her mom's recipe. All that ahead. Stay tuned. The Pittsburgh Dish is supported by Chef Aleka LLC. If you have a little chef at home looking to grow their pastry skills, check out Aleka's summer camp sessions. Just visit www.chefaleka.com and look for events to learn more. Now, on to the show. Well, thank you both so much for coming over and for being on the show. Would you take a moment to introduce yourselves?
I'm Shiquala Dukes.
And I'm Vonn Jennings.
And what do you both have going on in the world of food and beverage?
We have Burghade Lemonade. So right now we have 7 different flavors. It ranges from original, limeade, raspberry, mango, pineapple.
And you're using fresh fruit in all of this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We originally, Burghade actually kind of was an accident.
Really?
It was. This was an accidental business. And then 3 years later, here we are.
He's not lying.
So I know for me, I guess I kind of forgot what carnival lemonade tasted like from being a child.
Yes.
And then, what was it? 2022, we went to the Big Butler County Fair.
Yeah.
And she has excessive thirst.
Very thirsty.
We probably went to every single lemonade stand that the Butler County Fair had, thinking that we were going to have better lemonade. And it never happened.
It never hit, Vonn.
It not only did it not hit, it was like drinking Hawaiian punch. You know, Hawaiian punch makes you thirsty.
Yeah, it's like almost too sugary.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's hot, 4th of July day.
Oh.
You can't do nothing with that.
No.
I was getting exhausted from drinking.
That's so strange, but I get you. I get what that is like. And so this was maybe like the spark to say we could maybe do this better?
So professionally, I'm a nurse. And I haven't been, COVID wore me out. I think that was my tip of the iceberg. I said, I have to get out. And I was kind of looking for something to offset my income.
Yes.
And everything else, when something happens and you have shifts in your life, everything just kind of happened. And it was like, at first I was like, let's do slushies. It was the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was looking at slushy machines and I was like, what's something that I could start like tomorrow?
Well, because they could be a little expensive for an investment. Yeah.
Slushy machines were $1,200 to $2,000. I was like, I didn't know that. I was like, so what are like the basic? I never thought about the basics of what lemonade is. I mean, sugar, whatever, water. So I was just like, okay, well, tell me the basics of a recipe and then I'm just going to tweak it until I like it.
Yes.
And that's kind of what happened.
So you go to the Big Butler Fair. You are completely unsatisfied. You're also looking for a pivot in life. Mm-hmm. When do you create your first lemonade that people buy? Was it at a fair? Was it like at a family function? Like when did you start creating and offering it to people?
So once she came up with the idea, she asked me, she's like, do you want to do lemonade? And I was like, I'm the supportive partner. Whatever she wants to do, I'm down. So funny story, she likes to call herself the COVID lesbian. That's when we started dating. And she was vegan at the time and then went pescatarian and I'm none of that. And
Omnitarian.
Yes. So eventually she puts on What's the Health on Netflix and that was it. That's all I needed. So we start caring about what we put in our bodies. Mm-hmm. So then that mattered for the lemonade. So we just got in the kitchen. We're like less sugar.
Yeah.
More fruit, especially for melanated skin. Like we have diabetes and things like that run. We start caring. People pay for convenience.
Yes.
A lot of us have busy lives. So we went in the kitchen. We came up with the recipes. We cut the sugar. We added the fruit. And we did our first event was Pride.
Oh, yeah?
Our first event was Pride.
Pittsburgh Black Pride.
I love that. Mm-hmm.
It was July 30th.
2022.
Yep.
All right. Mm-hmm. So you're still in your early years, but you've come so far. We all met at Fulton Commons, and you went through one of the programs there. That's right?
Yes, their incubator program.
Mm-hmm. And was that to help understand the business more or how to package your good? Like what did you get out of that program? Did it help you along your journey?
Yeah, for sure. We are first generation business owners.
Okay.
I can't say personally that I've ever thought that I was going to be an entrepreneur. I just knew that I wanted to make money, and somehow I landed in the nursing field, and that's a whole different story. But when we had the lemonade, we weren't taking it seriously.
Okay.
And I didn't have any expectations for Pride, and people kept coming back and they were like, we love this lemonade. We love it. And we were like, oh, it's just something that we did real fast, something to make some money. And then a couple weeks later, we did Soul Food Festival and we sold out, and we were like, oh, people really do like our lemonade. Maybe we should start taking this a little bit more seriously.
Yes.
But at the same time, we don't know how to run a business. We don't know what it entails. We just know how to make lemonade, and people are saying that they like it.
Yes.
So there was actually, we were referred to, her name is Lachelle from Catapult. She referred us to Fulton Commons program. And then we took their incubator class, and then they have another level, the second level class, which is their accelerator program.
Okay.
So we took that, and it was an amazing experience. We loved them over there. We're actually doing their farmers market. I think it's on the 26th of this month too.
And we're recording in June. So June 26th?
Yeah.
Okay.
June 26th, we'll be there. We learned a lot from that program. We learned, they had a bunch of amazing speakers, business, how to build your business.
I think
the
you were there.
marketing.
I was there.
Yeah. That's where we
At
met.
the end.
Yeah.
I got to see your pitch, and I thought it was a solid product. When you think about where the business is aiming towards or going, like some of your customers, like who are you trying to reach?
I love this question. So we want to be the official beverage of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Pirates, Penguins, Pitt.
In athletics? Yeah?
Yes.
I love that.
Like we have Turner's Tea.
Yes.
It's a Pittsburgh staple.
Yes.
We want to be that Pittsburgh staple.
When you think of brands like Heinz Ketchup, we want people to think of Burghade that way.
Mm-hmm. I think you're onto something. I mean, it is refreshing and delicious. And back to your point, I think what people really want is more wholesome things, but especially in the summertime, like I don't want a big cup of sugar. I want something that is actually rehydrating me. And if you've got some, vitamins and minerals in there from the fruit, like that's totally up my alley.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the festivals and markets that we do, we see that a lot. We see cups sitting out with a big lemon in it, with food coloring and a bunch of sugar, and people just walk up and buy it. You get that big cup, but what are you actually buying?
Right.
When you get a 16-ounce bottle of actual lemonade.
Mm-hmm. How has it been in terms of creating new flavors or scaling? I'm sure that was like unexpected that you had so much success at the beginning. So how's it going?
So we started off with original and strawberry.
Mm-hmm.
And then, us, I love flavor. I have to have flavor. So it's a part of the rainbow in a sense, right?
Yes.
So then I was like, mango? She was like, okay. And then I looked at her and I said, we need another flavor. And I was like, I kept trying to get her to like sell her on Limeade, and she was not for it.
You're not having it, Quay.
She wasn't
having it. She sold me on all these flavors, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, come on, we have to do it. We have to do it. We did the Limeade. She actually loves the Limeade really a lot.
Wait, are you making Limeade now?
Mm-hmm.
You are.
Yes.
You may have some.
Okay.
I think I brought you peach limeade and raspberry, I think.
Oh,
Limeade is actually my favorite flavor now.
The flavor she didn't want to do.
We never know. You got to kind of try some things.
Yeah.
Experimenting is good.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So it continued to grow, and I was like, pineapple.
Oh, yeah.
We have to give the people what they want.
Right.
And flavors are a thing. So after we went pineapple, she was like, I want to do peach. All right, we'll do peach. She finally came up with a flavor. So peach is hers.
Aww.
And then I came back and I was like, I want to do raspberry. So we ended up with those 7 right now. And we talked about watermelon.
Oh.
I'm open to watermelon.
I think even like a mix of melons or whatever. I mean, like melon's good.
Thing.
Yeah.
We talked about actually mixing the flavor, because a lot of times people come to our booth and they're like, I want peach mango. And it's like, it's peach or mango.
Yeah.
You're like, you ever think about if you absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we are. We went to strawberry, mango. We want to do that. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So when you have been at like your most recent festivals, what are some of the top flavors, or is it all over the board?
It depends on the festival.
Really?
Yes. So the farmers markets that we end up doing, usually original, strawberry, mango are probably our top flavors that sell at farmers market.
Okay.
Pride, we sold out of raspberry. Everybody wanted raspberry. They were
That's
like,
what I'm
raspberry.
having right now.
Yeah, it was like,
Raspberry, strawberry, and mango sold
yeah,
out.
that was the best selling flavor. That was the first time raspberry was like our top flavor. I was like, oh, and our original was barely touched.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I was like, she was like, well, make sure it's the color
Yeah,
and it's fun. And I was like, okay. So it honestly depends on where we are. And it surprisingly, it depends on what side of the city that we are too.
Yeah, because
Isn't that
Limeade
interesting?
actually did well once at what was it? Was it the Lawrenceville market?
Yeah, Limeade does well in the city.
Bay 41.
Yeah, it's like sits down.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was the Lawrenceville one. Yeah, they love Limeade down there. We never know. Limeade sells at when we're at markets at the terminal.
Yes, that's what it is.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're still in a place where you're like, I don't know how much to bring because
Yeah.
we don't know what this crowd is like yet.
Yeah.
I usually ask this later, but let's talk about it now. Where are you going right now? Like where can people find you on the regular? Do you go to markets? Do you have some events coming up? Like if people are getting thirsty to try.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So right now it's summer, so it is our busy season.
Yeah, that's right.
Majority of the time you can follow our social media and it'll show you all the markets that are coming up.
Mhm.
Our next market is actually on Saturday, markets at the terminal.
Oh my.
Yeah.
This may not be out before that one, but
That's okay. We are actually regulars at markets at the terminal.
markets at the terminal.
You can find us down there. And that's actually how we got our first store opportunity down at Heber's Pharmacy.
Oh.
She tried our lemonade and she's very community oriented. She wants to put local people in her pharmacy. So she found us and she was like, we'd love to have Burghade in there. So that has been a wonderful opportunity for us. And right now we're pushing to get into more stores
Okay.
around the city because you can only do so much when there's two people and just trying to reach
Of course.
everywhere.
Of course. When we're talking about the terminal, we're really talking about the Strip District terminal. If folks aren't familiar,
Yeah.
that's where they can find you.
Yeah.
And since you mentioned getting into Heber's, are there any other stores you are getting into right now or that you are in?
So we have a couple partnerships with a few people. Believe it or not, one of the guys from the incubator, Thomas
Mhm.
Fisk, he
Oh,
actually
yes.
opened up his coffee. I wanna say
Hilltop
it wrong.
Coffee.
Hilltop Coffee. And he wants us in the coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ah.
then we met a fellow vendor at the market at the terminal. She actually opened up a store around the corner from our house.
Oh,
So we've gotten a few, hey, we want to put you in our store. That's what we're working towards.
is this considered wholesale retail? Is that what people call it in business?
Retail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that.
And then we
Yeah.
do sell, of course, like if you reach out to us through our social media,
Mhm.
we've started doing like pickups and deleries because we unveiled 6-packs and gallons. We did our first baby shower last year, which was pretty
Oh,
cool.
yes.
So we sold our gallons for the first time, and that was nice. So we're scaling up, and we're trying to, as we're scaling up, we're trying to say, okay, doing the festivals, it could be a lot. You know, you got your setup, you got your
Yes.
breakdown, you
Yes.
got all the rules and things like that. So it's like they're great, but now we're trying to upscale.
Mm-hmm. I think markets are great for getting your name out there and having that personal touch.
Yes.
People are able to see you and know you.
Yes.
But I can understand how unglamorous some of it is with all of the behind the scenes
Absolutely.
stuff to get there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
We have to deal with a lot of different stuff. So it's a little harder, but we're bigger than just that. We're a brand.
Yes.
And we encourage, one of our things that we love to do is we want to inspire. That's one of the biggest things about Burghade is we woke up with an idea and it's a family business. Our daughter is part owner in it. We have a 15-year-old.
Oh,
And we teach her through, and her Quay's godson also works, baby Joe. He's like 12.
oh.
So we're teaching like values in it while we run our business. And then at the same time, just looking for, like I said, the upscale portion of it and turning this business into a community,
Mm-hmm.
something that everybody can be a part of. Like we want a storefront eventually, and we want to, like, you come in, it's like ice, like you're going for ice cream, but it's
Yes.
lemonade instead.
Yes.
And it's a hangout for kids. And what we started doing with our tips as well was we want to put together like a scholarship and invest in someone's child if their entrepreneurship dreams and things like that. So Burghade is bigger than just festivals and markets.
I love that. I think when we first talked, you had talked about maybe a storefront eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have some design aspirations. Is that right?
Yes, an interior designer. Yes.
So maybe you can do all of it.
Yes.
That could be like your whole thing. It's like, I don't know if this makes sense. So it makes sense. Just do it all.
I anywhere that I can be creative, I'm a creative at heart.
Yeah.
So I love designing things. I love making things look pretty. I love the way that it makes me feel. And yeah.
It's going to be great for a store.
Mm-hmm.
I love what you're saying about how the business is so much more than just a business, right? You're doing all these other things. And I think it's super inspiring to say we're first generation business owners. If there are folks out there listening to your story, what advice or lessons you've learned would you want to share with other people? Like, how do you get going or support or any of that?
The motto that I always have in my mind that I hear a lot, and it makes so much sense for me, is do it scared. Getting into this entrepreneurship journey, I've realized even the most successful businesses, they don't know what they're doing either. Nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody's just figuring it out along the way, and you're going to make mistakes. But the mistakes at this point, I don't even like to classify them as mistakes. They're learning lessons. Yeah, I'm just like, nobody knows.
Right.
Anybody can open up a store, and then sometimes the store doesn't work out. Sometimes they're like, oh, you know what? We scaled too much, too big. I have businesses that we follow on Instagram and that are my invisible mentors. I look and I'm like, what is working for them? What's not working for them? I see that they opened up a store, but they don't have that store anymore.
Yeah.
I wonder and I'm not, from a non-judgmental way, I'm like, okay, pay attention to things like that, especially the beverage owners. It's just like, okay, they're at markets, but then they're also doing other things. They're also into stores. They're also diversifying their portfolio whenever it comes to making income. We started out with markets and we're like, those are fine, but the passive income is really where it's at.
Yes. I love doing it scared.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And what was your term? Invisible mentors?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to coin that. I think I have some of those too.
Yeah, I watched them religiously. I'm like, okay, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Quay, thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Vaughn, what about you?
First and foremost, you need a passion. You need to find what you're passionate about. That matters the most. I learned real young that I loved entrepreneurship. So as I moved into, it's like Quay said, don't even think about it. You just have to do it. It's kind of similar to working out. We all have aspirations, and I don't know about everybody, but I'm a sex symbol, so I have this sexy body. But when you work out, you're tearing muscles.
That's right.
So it's a trial and error, to build something in the end and make yourself have the body that you would like. So we trial and error. Nobody's perfect. It doesn't matter who you follow, what guru, what you watch. Everybody fails and struggles. I say we hear it a lot. It's so cliche, but fail forward, fail often. I definitely recommend all that. You're not going to know until you try it. You cannot be scared. So if you are scared, still just do it. Like Nike said, just do it, because that's how else is it going to be done? You're going to sit there and you're going to have the what ifs and the shoulda, coulda, would haves, and life's just passing you by. And then this grand dream that you had never came to fruition. So like Quay said, like we do a lot of research. Like I said, we're researchers, but we're always watching. I definitely recommend, if you see something you like, YouTube it, find a podcast, read about it, anything that you can do to make yourself more knowledgeable. And then if you need the education or if you need a mentor, go get one.
Yeah. Vaughn, thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Hi, I'm Shiquala Dukes.
And I'm Vonn Jennings. And we are Burghade Lemonade.
And you're listening to the Pittsburgh Dish.
I wondered if you guys had mentors that aren't invisible. Is there anyone else that's helped you along the way in this business?
Me personally, it started for me, like I said, pretty young. But my birth mom's mom, she made jewelry. And she sold it.
Yeah.
And then my aunt, when FUBU first came out, she was selling FUBU t-shirts. And I was like, this is my aunt. And I thought it was like the coolest thing ever.
Yes.
So I'm like, that's what I want to do. So I watched strong Black women make a living, and they were in corporate America as well. And they were making a living off of doing something they loved. So I got to watch it young. As I continued to grow up in it and get further away from and find out, like, what is this? Like, what is this growing inside of me? Even in high school, my my graduation project was about entrepreneurship. And when I graduated high school, I wanted to pursue entrepreneurship. So it never left me.
How interesting. I think what you're tapping into, a lot of young people don't know where they're going to land or what they're going to do. But the broader term entrepreneurship, it's always been there.
Yes.
Quay, what about you growing up? Did you ever dream of having your own business?
I'm just getting in my era of being okay with taking risk.
Okay.
Which is so strange because everybody knows me as a very outgoing and adventurous person. I jumped out of airplanes. I went a bungee jump. I do crazy things in that way.
Not me at all. No.
You don't know how I ended up jumping out of an airplane.
Goodness.
Yeah, I just took her skydiving. She graduated. And so my present to her was skydiving because it was such an amazing experience to me. It's my motto, just do it scared.
Yes.
That's another.
She's not telling the good part though. I didn't know until I got there.
Yeah, it was a secret.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I'm in your shoes right now, Vonn. I'm like, I don't know if I could do that.
It was like, well, she already paid for it, so I have to do it.
You have to. Oh my.
Greatest experience of my life.
Oh, good. Mm-hmm. Good.
I was walking on air.
Oh my.
That's what I did for my own self, though. Whenever I was like, I'm just going to pay for it. And once I pay for it, I'm not wasting my money. I'm going.
You've committed.
Yeah, I'm done.
Well, I love this. And I want to even go back a little further and talk about just early life before this business, too. So you're in like this beverage and food world now. What was food and festivals and stuff like that when you were growing up? Were there any inspiration points there that have led you to today?
So I'm originally from Beer Falls. And we didn't have much out there. It was when we moved to Pittsburgh when I was 13. That's when I got the Kennywood and all that good stuff. We had like little carnivals and stuff. So candy apples stuck out to me as a kid, but not like lemonade, nothing like just candy apples and cotton candy.
Okay.
So moving to Pittsburgh, it was more diverse. Like Pittsburgh was Disneyland to me.
Yes.
Coming from a small town and being country and everything. But once I got here, Potato Patch Fries were a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Lemonade was lemonade.
And what was food life like in your household, Vonn? Like, did you cook at an early age? Did people cook for you?
Yeah. So I was forced to grow up a little quicker than what I wanted to or should have. At 9 years old, I was cooking steak with mushrooms and onions. So, yeah. So being the eldest girl of, there's four of us. I have an older brother, and then I'm the oldest girl right under him. I had to take care of my two little sisters.
Okay.
So eventually, watching your mom work a full-time job and take care of four children on her own and seeing the struggle, it instilled maturity in me a little quicker to where I wanted to step up, and I did. So I would start cooking for the house. And I made her steak. And when she said my steak was better than her steak, then I knew I was on to something.
You were on to something.
I fell in love with cooking. So at that point, it's been, even now, I love to cook.
I also want to tie back to your determination to make the lemonade healthier. Is that something that also carries through like with your cooking, like, whether it's for your family or yourself or athletics?
It does. Health is wealth. And we hear it, it's cliche, but it's actually like really serious. I was in a car accident back in 2022 where a guy was in a rush during rush hour, rear-ended me. And he caused a herniated bulging disc in my L5 that I'm still dealing with today. I had seen a holistic chiropractor for that. He taught me a lot about how cold is better than warm. So in just dating Quay and her instilling the veganism or plant-based, we'll say plant-based because I still eat seafood. I can't give it up. But we live a plant-based lifestyle. Then we went and took it further. It's not just what we eat. It's what we're putting on our bodies. Like we use all natural shea butters and things like that. You really have to care about what you have going on health-wise because Quay's a nurse, her brother's a pharmacist, and they both are very educational when providing those pieces of, because I asked the question, I'm always asking questions. Why is science getting like we have all these new medical devices and things, but people are still dying of cancer and it seems like it's younger and younger. Why than? And I asked those questions and they told me, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. So it became something real prevalent for me, like noticing that people pay for convenience. And I live a busy lifestyle. Like I said, I'm an actor and a model. We own Burghade. I do real estate. I'm in developing. Also about to become a lender. The list goes on for me. So I'm busy. Life is busy for me. I don't always have the time. So a lot of times when you're spending money, you're paying for somebody else to do it because you don't have the time. If you're going to pay for somebody else to do it, you want it done right. And that's where we come in.
I like the point too of everything that goes in and on our bodies affects us. And so whether that's inflammation and long-term health. And so you all have tapped into that with creating a drink or beverage that is on the better side of all of that.
Yes.
Quay, what about you? Where did you grow up in, and what was food life like in your early years?
I'm from McKeesport.
All right.
I spent my life in the kitchen watching my mom and grandma cook. That my house was that house that everybody came over for holidays, Thanksgiving. My mom and my grandma, if you know my family, everybody loves their food. We were the hub house. And that I was never interested in cooking though. I was always just, I'll peel the potatoes, I'll clean up, but I never wanted to be the domesticated woman.
Yeah.
Yes. It never interested me in that way.
And let me just interject there. So now you're in this world where you're in sort of food and beverage with the lemonade. Did you ever imagine that would happen?
No, I never thought that I would be, making any sort of beverage, lemonade, any food, anything. It never crossed my mind. Honestly, I really wanted to. I sold myself short a lot whenever I was in my younger years. I truly wanted to be an astronaut. That was I had stars, my room. I want to be an astronaut. And I convinced myself that I couldn't because I wasn't good at math. Don't ever sell yourself short. Go for everything that you want to. So in a sense, Burghade has put me on a path to redeem myself. And it wasn't what I planned for, but it makes me feel good. It challenges me. It allows me to take risks. It still gives me that momentum to be a better person every single day. But entrepreneurship wasn't a thing in my family. We grew up, I don't like to say poor, but because I didn't go without. I had everything that I needed, but I always wanted more. And my mom did the best that she could. And I loved that. And she did do corporate life, but she always had a little side hustle going on. She had to. She had 4 kids and her income alone just wasn't enough. So I saw my mom go out and do what she needed to do to take care of us, especially, around the holidays, Christmas time and school time. And I didn't like that my mom didn't have freedom. She spent a lot of time at work. And thankfully, we had a great community. We had my grandma, we had my aunts. I grew up with my cousins. They're over our house, we're over their house. And that's another reason why we really inspire to push community when it comes to Burghade. I grew up, all I know is community.
Yeah.
I was raised by it. So, yeah.
Quay knows community. I don't. And I actually long for it. I crave it.
Was it because of the move from?
No, my family's just not like that. We're that dysfunctional generational trauma family. So I long for community.
Yeah.
And she had it. So this is community based.
Yes. Well, I think entrepreneurship is not selling yourself short now. And it's what makes sense for both of you.
Absolutely.
I would love to ask where you see the business going. Like, what's next?
So right now we're actually in the Catapult's entrepreneurship cohort.
Okay.
And we've been in that for a few weeks now, and it actually ends in August. That has been an amazing experience. It has really set the ground for building a solid foundation with Burghade and learning so many different things as far as business literacy and how to balance our checkbook. That's like an old school. And marketing, and it's just an amazing program. We also loved Fulton Commons, but Catapult has really taken learning your business and operating your business to a different level that I didn't even know was possible. So right now we love to do festivals, we love to do markets, but we also want to move into the catering industry, really teaming up with the caterers. Every time you go to a place and they have foods that's catered, let's just say Chipotle. You go, you're at your job and there's Chipotle, and then there's just the regular drinks. There's Coca-Cola, there's Pepsi, there's water.
Yeah.
We want to change that narrative.
I like
people
that.
forget about drinks.
Yeah,
There's
don't
no
fall
thought.
off at the beverage. We're here. We're here. So we definitely want to tap into that market, as well as learning what we need to do legally to get into stores. There's a lot of legalities behind making sure that we're doing the right things. We want to do everything the way that we need to do it.
Yeah, from cottage to packaging to having to have a commercial space to do those things.
Right.
There's
Nutritional
a lot to
labels,
it.
yes.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. So that has been a learning curve for us. So our main objectives right now is starting to team up with catering businesses as well as getting into more retail locations.
I did want to give a little plug to Catapult Pittsburgh too, because they do so much. I don't even know how to quantify all of their work, but it's an organization based here and they help in so many different ways.
Yes.
It's in my life more than just Burghade. Tammy Thompson is amazing. I have to say that.
Yes, she is.
And I'm not saying it just because she really is. Like what she's doing for community, what she's doing with the Catapult program is amazing. But I also work with them in real estate as well.
And Tammy is the president and CEO of
Correct.
Catapult.
Yeah.
All right.
Tammy is actually, Vonn doesn't even know this, but she's one of my invisible mentors. The way that she runs her business is the way that I aspire Burghade to be ran. It's almost flawless. And I know that there's no business that is flawless, but for me being on the outside looking in, I love the way that her business shows up in the community and at every event. It's wonderful.
Well, she's not invisible now anymore.
No, she's not my invisible mentor. She is my mentor. She may not know that, though, but I look up to Tammy. I've had some really great conversations with her. And her best friend, who's also my broker, Mary Hester. Amazing women. What they're instilling in the community, what they're doing, the model is phenomenal. Like I feel like if they wrote a book, all businesses will be successful, and I mean that because of what they have, the knowledge and how they go about it. Like Quay was saying, Catapult is like no other.
Folks need to check out Catapult Pittsburgh.
Yes, definitely.
And I think you've got us all thirsty for more. So let's also give listeners where they can find you online. What are the social handles or Facebook or whatever you're using right now?
So we're basically on all our socials and they're all Burghade Lemonade. Our Instagram is Burghade_Lemonade. You can find us on Facebook /Burghade Lemonade. We're on X. We're on all of our social media platforms. LinkedIn, you can find us everywhere.
I just want to give a description too. It's Burg like Pittsburgh, BURGHADE.
Yes.
Burghade
Yes.
Lemonade. All right. I think I have jokingly said to one of the two of you, or maybe it was both of you, if you get into sports drinks, then the Gatorade and you're going to be like
Burghade.
That'll be good.
I love our name.
We'll definitely
I
win.
feel like Burghade is so Pittsburgh. I love it. It kind of just came to me and I was like, I just feel like, we just need a good name.
Yeah.
The good name to get us in the door. What is it going to be? And something that represents Pittsburgh. And it kind of just popped in my head and I was like, we're going with it.
When you said you wanted to be like Heinz, I think it works. You've got the hometown right in the name. So go for it. All right, Quay, Vonn, it's been so great to talk with you. I always have one more question for our guests. The name of the show is The Pittsburgh Dish. What's the best dish that you've had to eat this past week?
Okay, so Judel's. Listen, I hope y'all's listening. Actually, turn your ear up, turn your hearing aid up. Judel's actually cooks out of Eon in Homestead.
Okay.
I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then she does Lit Cigar Lounge in Homewood. I think brunch on Sundays. I had deep fried crab legs.
Oh.
I'm going to just leave that right there.
My best bite this week. Say it to me again. Judel's?
Judel's.
So, Quay, at Judel's, did you have the same? Did you have the fried crab legs or did you have something different?
No, I had the vegan steak hoagie.
Mushroom cheesesteak hoagie.
Oh.
The vegan mushroom cheesesteak hoagie. I made her go back to get me some food. That's how good. The French fries were good.
Yes.
You can only do so much with French fries. The French fries were great. The mushroom cheesesteak.
Oh.
Amazing.
You get a bang for your buck. And I mean a serious bang for you. Have enough food and it's so flavorful.
All right. People need to search this out.
I've had her food at a couple catering events and every single time I'm like, who made this? Who made this? Her food's great.
Best bites this week. Vonn, Quay, thank you both so much. It's been such a pleasure to talk with you. And thanks for being on the Pittsburgh Dish.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. Thank you for having us. So grateful. You have been an amazing person that we have met last year. And you came and you reached out to us and you said that you would love to have us on there. And we are just so grateful for that.
I'm so grateful to meet you. I love what you're doing.
Yes, thank you. Really appreciate it.
Up next, where does senior food writer and dining critic Hal B Klein grab a bite when he's not working his normal beat? Let's have a listen. Hey everybody, we're joined together with Hal B Klein from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Hal, last time we were here, we talked about all of your food writing and the adventures you do. I was wondering, when you're maybe having a day off and you just want to go get a bite at a restaurant you love, is there one or two places that always come to mind?
Yeah, I mean, there are a few. The place that always comes to mind the most when I'm just like, want to get together with a couple friends is Amazing Dumplings.
Oh, over in Squirrel Hill.
Squirrel Hill, yeah. I really love the owners there. There are a couple from northern China, like far northern China. And it's been exciting to like watch and kind of participate in their journey over the years. They used to call their restaurants Sakura, Teppanyaki, and Sushi. And it was confusing because they had all this like hodgepodge on the menu, and then mixed in with it were these like northern Chinese dishes, which were the ones that they really wanted to make.
Yes.
Then a couple years ago, the husband got ill, and Fen Ping started making dumplings even more as almost like a process of like grieving or like
dealing with
it. Yeah. And he's better now, and he's in the kitchen.
Oh, good.
And it's great. And, you know, they share cooking duties now, and their food is just, it's so beautiful. She's become an artist.
Like she's sometimes like they're folded and there's color.
Yeah, she's like making vegetable dyes. Like everything is naturally dyed, like in-house. And she's like folding. She showed me how she made like all these colors once, and it's like rolling these like almost like Play-Doh colors together into like this like shape something. But she's also like carving flowers out of vegetables. It's this like it's weird because it's like in your face in one way, but it's also very understated. But I love just going in there, and it's like, it just feels like going to like a family house almost at this point.
What a combination of like a small, tight-knit family with a great story and beautiful food. But then you're also sort of tapping into art in a way. I've seen their Instagram feed and I haven't visited yet. So now it has to be on my list.
Yeah, you got to go.
Okay.
It's great. It's their Instagram is one of my favorites in the city.
Are there a particular one or two bites that you love there that you always order again and again?
The hot oil sesame dumplings are incredible.
Is it like a finishing oil that sizzles on top?
Yeah, and it's like there's heat to it. There's like the nuttiness from the sesame. It's just such a great dish.
All those flavor notes.
Hand-pulled noodles, like my comfort food dish, which I don't know if this would be the dish that I would order the first time I was there, but for me, it's the comfort food dish, is these hand-pulled noodles with tomato and egg.
Oh, yes.
It's like a very Chinese dish. It's like a rainy day dish that you're just like, everything is cool. Everything's going to be great. Everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, I love that. Well, we're talking about amazing dumplings over in Squirrel Hill. Hal, thanks so much for the recommendation, and thanks for being on the Pittsburgh Dish.
Absolutely.
You can follow Hal on Instagram at Hal B Klein. Have you harvested anything yet from your garden this summer? For me, the basil is already going crazy. Olive Visco of Polska, Alaska shares her mom's eggplant parmesan recipe, where the summer garden is key. Hey everybody, we're talking today with Olive Visco of Polska, Alaska. Olive, on the everyday, you're making a lot of great Polish food. And you mentioned about your family having some different heritage. I think your mom has some Sicilian roots. Is that right?
It sure is, yes. Yeah.
So is there anything that she makes that you would probably never make for Polska, Alaska that you love?
Yeah. So, and honestly, I was like, I want to put this on the menu when I was trying to figure it out. But so my mom makes eggplant parmesan, and it's just like to die. It's so good. It's my favorite thing that she makes. And so she does like a batter fried eggplant. So it's not like a crispy, I mean, there is crisp to it, but it's not like a breadcrumb.
Yeah.
It's batter fried eggplant. And then, I mean, this is like a beautiful summer dish that she does. So she has always had a beautiful organic garden. And, you know, so like her fresh tomatoes, her fresh basil, you know, things to kind of give it a little more, you know, oomph is like a bell pepper or a caper. And yeah, and she just like, she layers it with, you know, Parmesan and mozzarella. And again, she also, I mean, she adds whatever is available too, mostly just in her garden. So maybe spinach or, you know, a different kind of herb that she has at the time.
Just as another layer.
Yeah. Exactly. And yeah, so, you know, it's batter fried eggplant, the fresh summer tomato sauce that she makes, basil, let's say bell pepper, let's say, maybe capers. And yeah, so she just does like, depending on the thickness, 2 to 3 layers of all of that goodness in a bake dish, pops it in the oven. And she like serves it usually with her like Caesar salad. This is like if I am on death row, like this is what I want to eat. I want to eat a Caesar. I want to eat a like spicy, too much garlic Caesar salad and my mom's eggplant parmesan. And it's better like the next day cold.
Oh, well, I love that. I mean, it sounds like the best death row meal ever. But you're also bringing us into summer. So if somebody has like garden freshness or great access to that, I think the idea of serving it hot or cold could be great.
Absolutely.
Olive, thanks so much for the recipe. And thank you for being on the Pittsburgh Dish.
Thank you.
Be sure to visit Olive at her Polish diner, Polska Laska in Sharpsburg. Do you have a recipe? Share it with us. Just visit our website at www.pittsburghdish.com and look for our Share a Recipe form. If you enjoyed the show, consider buying us a coffee for this episode or supporting the show monthly. You can find links to those options at the bottom of our show description. And if you want to follow my own food adventures, you can find me on social media at Doug Cooking. That's our show for this week. Thanks again to all of our guests and contributors, and to Kevin Selecki of Carnegie Accordion Company for providing the music to our show. We'll be back again next week with another fresh episode. Stay tuned.